Hi everybody, Bray Scooter here, and just wanted to talk with you today about a few things. I mentioned on Twitter, and I figured why not just make a random vlog today, just to update you on some things while I start working the next Let's Play, whenever that's coming up, or whenever this video goes up. I'm very poor with my timing, also with my English. So as I mentioned, primarily on Twitter, even though my Twitter's connected to my Facebook. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. It is very simple. Use my same name as on YouTube. We got set. The main thing I was experimenting with and wanted to show you guys is basically the new gaming setup. Possibly let you get a quick peek into how I record things, or what my recording setup looks like other than on my computer, which that's my computer. Use the correct hand, retard. Aim for the mirror. There you go. There you go. We're pointing now. So yes. You can see the reflection of what I'm recording with. Funny. Find out what program I use to render these things in, and the picture behind. You know, it's the camera's reversed, so I get confused really quickly with which way I have to point my fingers. Anyway, so how about I just stop being a really weird person and just get around to the first thing I want to show you today. There's gonna be other things we're gonna talk about, but they're more serious things, but we'll wait for that. So, you, come with me. We're going on a quick explore. Now see, what I had done, also you can see the discoloration of my ceiling. What I have done is I've actually gone ahead and reformatted, sorry I'm not looking directly at you, I'm trying to look at the screen. I've redone my recording setup so you can see everything that, you know, I'm bad at this. So you can see everything that I record, or how everything's going to look. So you're going to be above me, below me, down. You're going to be above me, below me, to the side of me, everywhere around me. First off, main thing, over here is where the main area of the console are. Got the Wii set up. You know, since it's HDMI, that's going to come into play in a second here. But the Wii U here, basically it's going to double for both my Wii U and Wii games whenever I do them. I also gone and gotten a GameCube again. So it's a used GameCube, but it's a GameCube nonetheless, and I can play with GameCube games on there. So GameCube games aren't going to be in 480p anymore; they're going to be in standard 360p, if you know that kind of stuff. So yeah. Can I even get to look? Well, you might be able to see it peeking out here. This. I know a while ago I said that my Xbox bricked. I traded in. What I basically did is I traded in the Xbox. Just said, you know, refurbish it and get less price. I traded that in, plus my Wii, because my Wii is now pretty much a $200 emulation system. But I got my Xbox back just so I can play various games. You know, games that I have talked about that I want to possibly jump in on. Not saying that games I'm going to be playing in the future or anything. But yes, that was the main thing. I suppose you can look at my desk. Look at my oh so awesomely messy desk with all my notes everywhere. So this is the new thing this is my new microphone I've been using, by the way. You might have been able to tell a quality increase. It's only slight probably, but as I bumped the damn microphone. It's a oh, there it is right there. Samson Meteor mic. It's a USB mic like this that also has it has something down here so you can screw it into a regular mic stand. And so I'm trying not to bump it, but it's gonna make a thud noise whenever I touch that thing. So there's that. If I can finagle a chord finagling. Down below here is where all the bad magic happens. Now, I'm only showing you this, even though it's poor lighting. I'm showing you this like it is, because this is where I hook everything up. That gray cord there that you see, I'm just snaking it. You see that it kind of goes around and up here and then comes back around into the computer. Again, I'm not going to go behind the computer because that's probably a nice mess as it is. Right about where that gray cord goes in is my capturing card. So anything that I play off any of my systems gets hooked into the capture card. That's an AverMedia. I forget the actual name of it. It's an AverMedia internal capture card. So it's actually plugged into the motherboard. It's not a USB or anything like that. So that's that. So it's primarily going to be GameCube. So I mean, unless it's a certain game, I'm probably gonna try to level it. It's probably gonna be unless the GameCube, Wii U or Xbox title, I'm probably gonna be capturing off that. I mean, for a select few games, wow, I should really get this worked out. After you sort through all my crap in there, paper in the way. Now, I know it's really low lighting, but if you take a quick look, you'll see that I have my dust cover 64 right there, my Super Nintendo back there. I have a Genesis in storage somewhere, but most of the games that are on, systems earlier than the Nintendo 64, I am just gonna be emulating those. But don't worry, I have every game that I've played so far, I do personally own, so it's not like I mean, unless it's for Fan Friday, but unless I specifically tell you, unless I specifically say, you know, I don't own this game yet or whatever, just assume that I have the game. So any people out there like, oh my god, emulating's legal. I own the game. Emulating it is just 10 times easier. Now as we go throughout this video, from this point in the video forward, things are going to be a bit more serious. So if you don't like serious talk, or if you don't like to hear me gripe and complain or get philosophical, you know, go ahead. I won't mind. You can go ahead and leave me and say bugger off. But for those of you that do stay, thank you for staying around. I appreciate that. So, the few things I want to talk about today. There's two there. There was a third one I had, but I've forgotten. Maybe I'll let my memory get jogged and I'll talk about it towards the end, or I'll stick an addendum onto this later on. But what I wanted to talk about, you know, two things, something that's, you know, it hits a bit close to home. The first one is going to be less serious talk than the other one. So I'm going from least important, cosmetic, blah blah blah, this is me and my life thing, down to this is what's going on with my life and seriousness. Figured you like that. So the one I want to talk about, which has been the topic that's been floating around for the past month because of the shooting, and God, I don't remember. I am terrible. Well, I'm a terrible person for forgetting anyway. The shooting that recently happened, and you know, we're going through this whole song and dance again, where video games cause violence. Oh God, please ban all video games from ever being sold ever. I'll try and put a link to the video about this, but there was an argument. There was a debate that was actually happening on Fox News. Fox News, of all places, being a source of good news for once, oddly enough. Adam Sessler, the guy who currently is the supervisor or CEO or something of Rev3 Games, but he used to also, well, for those of you that are older, remember, he used to be he was the host that was on X-Play for the entirety of the show. So like for 10 years, 15 years that show aired on G4, he was the main host. So, but yes, Adam Sessler, you know, made a compelling argument about the whole guns and violence thing that actually is probably the best example of why people are going after video games rather than taking the blame themselves. And I love the man before. I loved the man before. I love me more now because he applies logic to it rather than just flying off the handle like most of the opposition is doing at this point. That was look cool. Opposition. As I point to my face and try and think of my next topic, more or less he just said that, you know, if something happens in the community and people don't, and you know, something happens, you know, the best example was the gun shooting. The gun shooting, yeah, bang bang gun shooting. The shooting that happened over at the school. You know, everybody did pin it directly on video games. Video games, the reason that this kid went into the school and just shot up 20 people. Death toll's probably more. I'll link the article if you haven't read it yet, but let's just say it's disturbing what went down with it. Regardless, you know, Adam Sessler, you know, he brought up the best point. That when something happens within human nature dictates that the person that we want to push the blame on anything but the people that are to blame. It's pretty much human nature, unfortunately, and it's the truth. You know, if you think about it, you know, best example is of a kid. Kid breaks important piece of cutlery, vase, whatever you have around the house that is important to you, but because the kid was careless, he or she broke it. What's the first thing the kid says? It wasn't me. Billy told me to do. That's just human nature right there. That's the best example. And, you know, things that come up like that have come up a lot in the past, which, again, I keep saying the guy's name, Adam Sessler pointed out. You know, when, you know, in history, you know, everything just got pointed back to whatever was conflicting with that at the time. I'm trying to remember the example that he gave. The best example that Adam gave. It was... Son of a bitch, I don't remember. You know, he went through the history of, you know, why does X thing happen, and then they go after Y thing. Like, you know, the oncoming of the Depression, the oncoming of the Great Depression back in the 20s, and all that, you know, that's right about the time that the Prohibition laws were put into effect, where, you know, alcohol was banned, because people are like, oh God, alcohol is the reason why why we're going to a Great Depression and are having economic crisis. We need to ban alcohol. That is probably a historically accurate representation of what's going on now. A person with a gun killed people. So obviously, pick something that contrasts our current philosophies in life is the reason why he went on a shooting rampage in the first place. So, you know, a lot of people are just, you know, the NRA, the news, everything is drawing attention to the fact that this guy went out, shot a bunch of people, and then it's like, and then they go and say, it was video games. No, it was parenting. For Christ's sake. I mean, I don't know the age of the shooter. I mean, when you hear of a lot of shootings in schools, it's usually the age of shooter somewhere between 15 and 18. I mean, sometimes it could be an older person. That's a possibility. So, me not knowing all my facts is what's holding that up. But it's usually parenting. Because, I mean, and we've had to put laws into effect at this point because because a lot of parents don't pay attention to their kids at this point, that we've had to enforce laws that force parents to pay attention to what kids buy. You remember, now for some of you that are around my age, I'm mid-20s, so that gives you a good age range to stick with. A lot of kids, you know, that were my age growing up, we had violent games, lots of them. Contra, Ninja Gaiden, for those of you in Japan, that came from Japan, Sweet Home is one. You know, there were a lot of video games out there that were violent and bloody. Sure, it wasn't to the greatest degree, but they were there. And, you know, and because there was no ESRB, there was no fear of it at the time. Parents were responsible about their children, or responsible about their children got. A lot of times, kids got the more cutesy, attractive games, which is why a lot of kids you see today, which a lot of kids from my generation, grow up playing Mario, Sonic, you know, all that thing, because it was the norm, it was friendly, it was bright and colorful, there was no problems with it. Meanwhile, the people who are currently in their 40s that were playing video games, don't want to just shout out people, but don't want to shout out people, but everybody knows the guy at this point. NCS, he's probably the prime example I can think of somebody who is older, who played video games around the time of my next topic in this discussion. He grew up in a time where, you know, he was already an adult, so they got to pick whatever they wanted, you know, violent games, graphic games, whatever have you. And, you know, it was a system that worked. Parents kept an eye on their children. The children didn't get exposed to violence unless the parents deemed it fit. A personal example that I can say about this is why parenting has gone downhill so much. And I'm going to try and make it so it segues into my next topic. But, you know, me growing up, I loved watching Ren and Stimpy. When the show started to go R-rated, but the network executives didn't quite catch it yet, my parents caught it first and were like, okay, you can't watch the show anymore. I was very upset, but I dealt with it because my parents had the better judgment. Who am I at 7, 8 years old to judge my parents who have lived through most of their lives and know what's right and wrong for a kid? Now fast forward to now, when current kids ages 8 through, we'll say 8 to 15, which is, it's roughly when kids start playing video games or have enough attention to detail about games where things will start setting in and clicking. But yes, nowadays a lot of games that come out, you know, we have, because of how parenting has gone downhill, you know, parents, and forgive me, I don't mean to group you responsible parents into this, but it's kind of like how a lot of gamers get grouped into the whole general thing. All gamers do is play modern military shooters and drink Mountain Dew and eat Doritos. So, I fit 2 of those 3 boxes. But, so yes, I mean, I don't mean to address all you parents out there. I know there are some of you that are responsible, and you're awesome because you are responsible parents. But, I'm just addressing generally what parenting boiled down to in my mind. You know, nowadays we have the ESRB. I don't know if they're laws or regulations or whatever they're considered that are intact that say, you know, if a game is rating X, parent has to be there to say, yes, my child can buy this game, and I will be responsible for them. Which good in practice, unfortunately not. This isn't provided very much, but I'm going to get into that again in a little bit. So, you know, we have to have all these regulations intact because, you know, there are violent video games, and parents are supposed to be watching out for that, and because parenting, you know, a lot of parents aren't as responsible as they used to be, we have to resort to forcing them to be responsible in the long run. So, playing it out, Timmy is 13 years old. We'll say 13 because that's probably the ripe age of when this is going to come into effect. You know, Timmy's 13 years old. He would like to play Black Ops 2 because all his friends are playing it, and it's a fun game, and it has everything he wants in the game. But he's got $50 in his pocket, and his mom, I should probably be more accurate with my pricing. He's got $65 in his pocket, and his mom's waiting outside in the car because she doesn't want to have to be hassled with it. He just wants him to go in, get it, get out. So Timmy has the game. He's going up to the counter. Representative says, "I need your parent here to sign for this." Awesome! Your parent knows the adult now knows that this is a violent game, and the kid has to get parental consent in order to even purchase this game. But unfortunately, the parent gets it. They get the game and just like, oh, whatever, he'll be fine. And then the kid plays this game for a couple weeks. You know, the kid plays this game for a couple weeks, and then, you know, because the parents not paying attention to the fact that that they're giving their young kid this game, and this game is enabling them, is an enabler in the long run, unfortunately. Basically enables them to have violent tendencies. Now, parenting right, the parent would have probably said, oh no, it's violent, I can't get this game for you. But now I'm just drawing out what I've said before. I'm getting long-winded. So what I've said is just repeating what I've already said, so that's that. The other thing I want to get to here, it's it's long-winded. I know this video is getting long-winded, so, but the other thing I want to get here is more personal, and it's gonna sound selfish. I'm gonna say it flat out. It's gonna sound selfish, and I hate to make it sound selfish. I don't like to make it sound selfish. I just want to let you guys know before I even start on this that I'm not looking for handouts, I'm not looking for cop-outs, this is my situation, and any help you can provide is great. So, a lot of you that are on the channel now know that I am currently a partnered user through YouTube. So, a lot of the content I make, you know, is revenue for me. Now, because of my current situation with jobs and whatnot, and it's embarrassing for me to even bring this up. I want to point this out. It's embarrassing for me to bring up this fact to you guys. I'm unemployed. I've been unemployed for a year now. Still searching for a job. You know, the job market sucks now, so I've been searching for a job. Just that I can't. So I've searched out to YouTube to kind of provide some backing on that. But I'm just gonna say it flat out. Again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm in it for the money or I'm in it for that. YouTube is my primary income at this point. I've got some stuff saved up and hoping to get a job soon, but YouTube is my primary source of income. So, if you... God, I really feel bad saying this. All I'm really asking is, if you enjoy my videos, you can make comments and whatnot. If you really feel dedicated, you could share it with a friend. I understand the fact that not everybody is going to like what I do. I understand the fact that you might be apprehensive you might be apprehensive to do so, or too busy to, share my channel with people. But I'm just telling you right now, the YouTube channel is my primary source of income, and that's about it. I just needed to say that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it went from cosmetic to serious in about 3 seconds flat, and I hate to ask for handouts. So please, I want to repeat myself. I'm not just into the YouTube thing for the money. I'm not into it for that at all. It's as of right now, it's what I can do to make a living. That's pretty much it. So I'm sorry if I just talked your ears off for 20 some odd minutes straight. And generally when I make a vlog video, I keep it really short, but these were a lot of things I needed to get off my chest, a lot of things I needed to address, and I figured since I did an overhaul of my recording equipment, you might want to be in the loop on that. So I just want to say, I thank you all for your time, not just today, but overall. You guys out there who are watching this are the main reason I keep doing it. Well, I shouldn't say it's the main reason. I have fun doing what I do, but just sharing my knowledge of what I know with people out there is why I love doing this. The connectivity is a big bonus too. Yes, I love you all for all you've given to me so far, and I hope that continues to grow. If you have questions, you know, always, if you have questions for me that you don't feel comfortable expressing in a video, the video comments down below, you can ask me questions through a direct message on YouTube. You know, I have my excuse me. I have my account set up so I accept messages from everybody, not just friends, or not just contacts. So if you have questions you want to ask me that you don't feel comfortable asking in the comment section, please, you can ask me there too. Wow, that really drug on for more than I planned to. So yes, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your continued support. And I'll see you in the next video.